Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm an advisory specialist librarian here at the Skokie Public Library. And for this video, we're going to explore an interesting corner of the internet, a digital library known as the Internet Archive. So the Internet Archive is a nonprofit digital library of internet sites and other cultural artifacts in digital form. And their mission is really ambitious. It's to provide universal access to all knowledge. So that's a lot of knowledge. So if we go to their homepage, you can see it's a little unassuming. It's anything but, though. At the top, we have this nifty little toolbar, and it breaks down the meat and potatoes of the archive and its various collections. There's web, books, video, audio, software, and images. And you can see when I click on each one of these individual tabs, a little submenu actually pops up, and that gives you additional options and links to specific collections within that category. What the Internet Archive is probably best known for is its Wayback Machine.
What is the Wayback Machine? Basically, it is a time machine. It's something that you can use to travel back and experience the web of the 20th century. You can find websites that no longer exist. You can go to web pages that now are very different than what they were when they were first published.
To give you an example, we can use the Wayback Machine to see what Skokie Public Library's website looked like in 2003. Interesting. And with each of these old websites, it's not just the homepage that's preserved, but a significant chunk of the website as it existed then. The Wayback Machine's algorithms and web crawlers may start it with the homepage, but they follow all the links and download those as well. So if we wanted to see what programs the library was offering back in 2003, well, you can do that. I mean, I'd sign up for Introduction to Yahoo Email today. And this little slice of internet history represents just a few of the literally hundreds of billions of web pages that the archive has preserved and made accessible to anyone with access to a computer and Wi-Fi. The archive isn't just interested in preserving these born digital items, it also collects and digitizes music, videos, images, text, software, and a whole bunch more. So if you're, say, a fan of early recorded music, the Internet Archive's Great 78 project is really worth checking out. The music that we're listening to right now is taken from this section of the archive. Between 1898 and the early 50s, roughly 3 million recordings were made on 78 RPM discs, and the Internet Archive wants to preserve as many of them as they can. And recordings prior to 1924 are now in the public domain, which means they're no longer protected by intellectual property laws like copyright or trademarks or patent laws. One of the quirkiest finds on the Internet Archive is an assortment of Atari 2600 video games. These were really popular in the early 80s. The 2600 was one of the first affordable home video game consoles, and I spent hours of my own life playing these games. And now you can too via emulators that are baked right into the archive. Of course, there's a lot more to the Internet Archive, not just the billions and billions of pages that the Wayback Machine has captured, but there are these books and pamphlets and magazines and scanned VHS tapes, old computer programs, mixtapes, radio shows. It's probably a place that's best spent just meandering and browsing and letting serendipity work its magic and seeing what you find. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.